Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we're checking out Get on Board Metro, Paris and Rome.
Roma.
Roma, Roma, Roma.
Yes, this plays 1 to 5 players and has a box playtime of approximately 30 minutes. This is created by Sashi, and it's got Sashi and Sashi's logo in the rule book, but this is a yellow game. And provided by Flat River Group.
That's right. Originally it was Let's Make a Bus Route, which I still have. Mm-hmm. I love the game. I love it. And so they've made this new series of games with Get on Board, and now this is the second one in the series. So it's just different maps, a little slightly different rules, but for mostly the same feeling is involved. So I love it. I think it's for me it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see all these different variations coming out.
So thanks to Flat River Group for providing us this copy of the game. Thanks, Danny. But she didn't give it to us in exchange for this video. She gave it to us because she knows we like to play
all the games.
And it's funny, she was actually the translator of the rulebook as well. Danny was.
How about that?
So
she is of many talents.
She is. So let's go ahead and get into all the rules. So if you are playing anywhere between 1 and 3 players, you are going to use the Rome map. At least I assume that it.
Yep, at the top of the board.
There are solo rules here. So it does say 1 to 3. On the other side is the Paris map if you are playing 4 or 5 players.
Yep.
So everyone's going to take your 32 route markers. Steph has the same thing, but they're called route markers when it is with Steph.
They're route markers. You gotta get it right.
And a departure pawn, which looks like this. It has a little metro marker on it. So, you have 12 rounds to make the best metro line in the city. Every round, we're going to reveal one of these cards, and we are going to draw lines based on the cards that we have drawn. So we have shuffled up the common objective cards. They are going to be different based on whether, the common objective cards all look like this with a yellow front and a blue back. Just shuffle them up. You're not going to be able to keep them secret because it's the same on both sides except for the number at the bottom. So you're not going to be able to keep them truly secret. Just deal out 2 cards up here. You might ask, well, what is this third slot for? That is for solo game only. You're also going to shuffle up the 5 personal objective cards. Those are going to be different based on whether you are playing the Paris map or the Rome map. So shuffle those up and deal each player 1 of these cards face up. And that is going to tell them the spots that they need to connect on the map. All of those lines and all of those markings on there are mostly just to let you know where things are on the map. The only things of interest on this card are the letters and the black circles. For me, B, G, and M. So, Steph knows what these are because these cards are going to be dealt face up. So, you're also going to shuffle these 12 Metro tickets. If you're playing on the Paris map, you only you need all 12 of them. If you are playing on the Rhone map, you only need numbers 1 through 6. Deal each player 2 cards. Each player looks at those 2 cards and decides which of the 2 locations they want to start on the map. You can see there in the big purple numbers here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I chose location 2. Steph chose location 6. This just happens to be where my B location is, like right next to it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like right next door. Might as well start right by there if I can. Then shuffle up all of these again and place them all right here. Now this is a really weird feature. There's a notch on all of these cards. Unfortunately, it's a really cute little aesthetic, but it makes it really hard to shuffle the cards. So if something like that bothers you, you may want to consider sleeving these 12 cards. So um, the oldest player is the first inspector and places the inspector pawn in front of them. We're going to play, as I mentioned, you're going to play over 12 rounds. There are going to be, there's these cards here are numbered 1 to 12. So the inspector is going to reveal the top card of the Metro ticket deck and put it face up on top of the discard space. Notice that we have ticket 3. We are going to cross off the space of the matching value in the ticket zone on the top of the player sheet. So you will notice at the top of my player sheet, I've got all of these things that shows what lines are going to be drawn based on the tickets. So I will mark off that ticket 3 has already been used, and I'm going to draw one of these two orientations. Basically, I can draw 2 straights, or I can draw, I can put my 2 spots with 1 bend in between. Notice that if it's something like this, I don't have any choice. I have to draw 2 straights. I'll get into ways that you can alleviate that in just a moment. So you're going to mark off ticket 3, and you're going to be able to draw this symbol. Additionally, in a 2 or 3 player game, and only during the first round, each player is going to cross off the space that matches the color of this ticket border. This one is in burgundy. Therefore, the burgundy routes are going to help us do make what is called connections. Connections are special things that you're going to be able to get extra points off of. You do not have connections on the 4 and 5 player side of the map on the other side. You'll notice the yellow connections here. You'll notice all of the burgundy connections, the darker ones, all over the map. So we're going to mark that the burgundy ones are used. So Steph has also done the same. We're going to mark off number 3 here. So the next thing we're going to do is plot our route. We are going to place our markers required by the ticket. There can only be a maximum of 1 marker per color on each section, meaning I can never have 2 blue marks right here, for example. Now, Steph can place one of her, she can place a route marker where I have a route marker, just like that. And that is actually going to give her a connection if she places after I have placed. If I place after she's placed, I will get a connection and she will not. So, your shape has to begin where your route ended the previous round. So it's always going to go out from this departure pawn moving outward. You can never start on the other side. It always has to start where you left off. So you have to place as many markers as shown on your sheet, and they must make as many turns as shown. You can choose the direction. For example, I don't have to make specifically a right-hand turn. I can make a left-hand turn as long as I have 1 turn exactly on the board. So, the beginning of the current round shape may make a turn. For example, let's say I've already gone like to here, and now I have to make a turn somewhere in the next 2 things that I place. Yes, I can start off making a turn, but this does not count as my 90-degree turn. My 90-degree turn is this part right here. I can't choose to go too straight. I mean, I can with this, but if I were to be forced to place a 90-degree turn, where you left from is not considered the 90-degree turn you have made.
Yeah.
That said, I don't have to start off going in this direction. I just have to start from this spot, if that makes sense. So if I were to draw two straights, I could indeed draw two straights this direction. That would be just fine. So let me back all of that up. Keep in mind, you can never double back on the same section. Now, most everything that you're going to draw are going to be two segment spots, but you do have one segment spot and two three segment things. Notice you don't have to do a U shape or a curve shape. Keep in mind, this is just means two 90-degree turns in your route. This is specifically three straights on your route. Now, you might say, well, it's going to be boring if everyone's placing the same things at the same time. But that is not the case. Steph's sheet is different from my sheet. Notice that Steph's number 1 is her 2-angle 3-segment thing. Her 6 and 12 is her 3 straight, where that's my 5 and 11 ticket. So that's sort of interesting. So, as I mentioned, connections are when you place your marker on top of where someone else already has a marker. Whenever you do one of those, you're going to mark one of these connections off here on the bottom of the sheet. You're going to start on the low end and move around. You're going to score that many points at the end of the game. You're trying to make it all the way to the end to try to get 10 points. You do not get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. You're just going to get however far you have moved along that line. So, additionally, on these, on the 1 to 3 player side, if you ever put your track on one of these spaces that matches that first ticket, remember, the burgundy ones are good for us, this is going to give me a connection. Just like that. Now, when Steph comes there, she's going to get the purple connection and my connection, I believe. Let me look here. Is that is true?
I think so,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Cross off one extra circle in the connections area. Each time your shape passes through a speedy route section is what they call it. Oh, yes, that is correct. So, for each metro station that you reach in a round, you're going to circle one in the metro zone. That's up here. You'll notice my little 6 spots here in the little metro marks. At the end of each round, you can cross off a single circled M, and if you do, you get 1 extra marker to make your route longer in any direction. However, each circled metro mark that you have not crossed off at the end of the game is going to give you 2 additional points at the end of the game. Notice 0 if you've marked them, 2 if you have not. Even tells you right up here at the top, 0 if you've marked them off, 2 if you have not.
So if you use it, you get to go 1 more space.
If you decide to use it, you can go 1 more space. Place one of your route markers. I would place one of my route markers.
Right.
Yes. So, if your route reaches the same intersection, let's say I decide to do this, I decide to do this, well, that's probably not a smart thing because I'm going to reach that intersection a second time. Guess what happens? Just like in the game of Snake, if you reach it again, you're eliminated. Don't do that. Pro tip. You're eliminated. You do not score any victory points at the end of the game. Leave your markers on the board because other people need them for those valuable connections. So, if you really want a turn, but you drew a straight, then what you can do is you can increase or decrease the number of required turns. How do you do that? Well, for every turn you want to add or subtract, you're going to mark off one of these red boxes. That's going to give you -1, plus -2, plus another -2, plus another -2, plus another -3, and then you can't do it anymore. You have to
I think
take
I always fill up all these boxes.
what they've given you. If you have crossed off all the spaces and it is impossible to complete your shape because your route would go off the map or Steph's route would go off the map.
Oh, wow.
Then you treat the shape as if it were a straight line using a single marker. You treat the entire shape as if it were a single one line space, which means you can go any direction because the entire shape is a one spot shape. If you picking up what I'm putting down.
Yep.
So, what do all of these things mean? So, let's talk a little bit about after you've placed your stuff, then you're going to board the metro. For each passenger or place that you reach with your markers, you're going to apply certain effects. So, if you have gone through one of these little orange granny spots, you immediately cross off the topmost granny.
Because you ran her over.
You ran her over with the metro. Yes, she was in your route or your route.
That's right.
If all of the granny spaces are crossed off, you don't hit a granny. At the end of the game, you're going to add up all the points shown next to those crossed off spaces. The more grannies you hit, the more points you'll make. So, let's talk a little bit about students and cinemas. So, if you meet a student or a cinema, you cross off one of those corresponding spaces. If all of them are crossed off, nothing happens. You're going to multiply students times cinemas, and that's going to give you points at the end of the game. Let's talk a little bit about flirts. There are several type of faces for these flirts. I think this is what bugs Steph the most, is that some of these spaces, the faces look similar, but you're not really looking at the faces. You're looking at the background color. For example, if you can see this on the map, this face is identical to this face. It doesn't matter. You're looking at the background colors. This one is light pink. This one is darker purple. So you're trying to match up these flirts, purple and pink. So you're going to cross off any space with the matching background in the topmost unresolved row. That has no number over here in the side. Currently, there's no number over there. You can cross off. If I landed on or passed through a dark purple, I could cross off this one or this one. So if both of those spaces are already crossed off, or if all three of your rows are resolved, nothing happens. So take a look. There are two couples. Each row has two couples. There's two lights, two darks. As soon as you get to a restaurant, if you haven't crossed off any flirts in your topmost unresolved row, nothing happens. However, if you have crossed off any flirts and you encounter a restaurant, that's this symbol right here, then if you have, it says no crossed off flirts gives you 0 points, but that doesn't make any sense, because if you have no crossed off flirts, nothing happens, remember?
Right. Yeah, nothing happens.
So there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the rule book. However, a single crossed off flirt gives you 2 points. 2 crossed off flirts of the same color would therefore give you 2 single flirts for 2 and 2 points, meaning 4 total points. If you have a couple, you get 6 points. If you have 2 couples, therefore you get 12 points.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Based on what you have there, you could get 2, 4, 6, 8, or 12 points. Then you scribble off all of those flirt spaces that you hadn't crossed off this row. That shows that row is resolved. Put your score here, and you're going to then continue on with the next row. Let's talk a little bit about tourists down here. Whenever you encounter a tourist, you're going to cross off the leftmost tourist in the topmost unresolved row. All of the tourists, they're all the same. You're just trying to collect as many tourists as possible. When you encounter an opera or a theater, operas and theaters, whenever, if you don't have any crossed off tourists, it's the same as the flirts. Nothing happens. But if you do have some marked off, look at the rightmost crossed off tourist in that row. Look, there's a 2, 5, 9, and 14. If you manage to get 4 tourists and then you hit a opera or theater, boom, you get 14 points. If you manage to only get 2 tourists, it's only 5 points. So, and then you're going to scribble out the other tourists you on that row. You're going to mark down those points, and then you're on that next row. Again, if you encounter an opera or a theater and you do not have any tourists, nothing bad happens. You do not scribble a row.
Do you mark the thing, though?
Do you mark the thing? Yes, because there are 2 common objective cards that ask you to stop at 3 theaters or 3 operas. We have the 3 opera common objective. So notice there's a spot to mark those places up here. This zone is only used as a memory aid to let you remember whether you have encountered 3 operas or 3 theaters. So every time you reach one of your 3 intersections specified on your personal objective card, you're going to mark them over here. The first time you're going to get 2 points, the second time 5, the third time 10. So hopefully you've got all 3 of those objectives, and hopefully you're going to get all 10 points for that. Finally, after we have crossed off what we're supposed to cross off on our sheet, we're going to check to see if we've completed any of these common objectives. If you've in our game, if you've encountered 5 grannies, 10 points, or 3 operas, 10 points. If Steph and I get that in the same round, that's great. We both get 10 points. Then we flip this dude over. Everyone else can only score the 6-point granny bonus or the 6-point opera bonus.
Still worth it if you can do it.
Yes, absolutely. And then change the inspector. So now Steph gets to be the inspector. But if you just finished the 12th round, just go to the end of game scoring. And at the end of the game, each circled metro entrance you did not cross off is 2 points. You are going to add up all your negatives in your turn zone. You're going to score up all your grannies, your students times your cinemas, all of your tourist points, all of your flirt points, your common objectives, and your metro spaces. If you have unresolved rows in your tourist and flirts area, they will score half as if you had gotten to a restaurant or opera/theater. So if you had 2 couples and they just did make it to the restaurant, you will get a total of 6 points instead of 12 that you could have gotten.
That's still not bad. Better than nothing.
So keep in mind with these metros, with the additional space, like marking off a metro can give you additional space, you get 1 of those around. So if you're nearing the end of the game, make sure that you start marking those off. I'm fairly sure it is 1 because I had to time that a little bit. I didn't read that as I was going, but you may cross off a metro at the end of the same round you circled one. Oh, it doesn't say that you can only do 1. At the end of each round, you can cross off a single circled metro. So that is correct. You can cross off 1 at the end of each round.
Cool.
All right, that is all the rules. Let's go ahead and do ticket 3. Why
Right.
don't we?
So we talked about the brown
We
part.
talked about the brown part. What brown part?
I think
Yes.
section.
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
yes.
that was like one of the first things we talked about.
Yes, we did.
It's the
Connections.
The connections.
This represents the number of Metro cars on your route. It's going to give you victory points at the end of the game.
So if we go over a burgundy spot on the board, we can mark
Yes.
spots. Yeah, I was just telling
Or
you.
if you go over a route marker, which are mine.
Yep.
Yes. Yours are route markers.
Yep. So you could play this on BGA if you like it.
Yes, the brown part's called connections. And remember, these little burgundy and yellow sections are only on the 1 to 3 player Roma side of the map. They do not exist on the Paris side of the map. So, did you do yours? Oh, I'm doing mine first because, and not that it matters a great deal, but I'm going to go to a tourist and a restaurant.
I pick up.
No, that's not a restaurant. That is a restaurant. It is a restaurant.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't.
I'm
just saying it's a restaurant.
I killed Granny.
You killed Granny?
And
you did.
I went over some burgundy.
I also went over burgundy. I didn't mark that, but I should have.
And I hit my letter.
We don't get this metro, do we? The one at the start of the game?
No. Nope.
All right, you ready? You ready?
Yep.
All right, you get this. We go here. 10. Boo, it's a single.
Let's see. I gotta get Granny.
Well, it doesn't matter what you do because I'm gonna just kill Granny.
Whoa, so rude.
Grandma got run over by a metro. That's right, Firewind.
And then I collect that space, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it does a little bit.
All right.
All right.
2 rounds done.
2 rounds done. Ticket 6. Ticket 6.
Get your
Ding,
ticket.
ding, ding.
This is not what I wanted at all. So
it's fine by me.
Thanks for that, I guess.
So. Oh no, I don't want to visit there. No.
I'll have to use the route, the turning.
How about the route?
The route.
Oh, look at this. This is actually not bad. Duke.
Might as well use one of the M's I collected.
That's 2 more of these dudes. Shoo. And
I picked up
a dark flirt.
Picked up the student.
I got a dark flirt.
And I went on 2.
I got a metro.
Roads.
A tro.
I use my metro to go an extra space.
What? I need to decide if I want to use a metro. I can get a couple if I wanted it.
Take the really scenic route.
Route. Route?
Yeah.
Route.
No.
Route?
Yeah.
Route.
No.
All right. I think that's all I'm doing. You.
Flipper.
Ooh, the flipper doodles. 5.
No.
No.
So hear me out. Do I go
it.
this way and come up and around, or should I just go the fast way?
I cannot answer that question for you. Michael. I forgot to mark my burgundies.
Just do this little baby.
Man, I got to do 3.
I dropped this guy off.
I got a light flirt, a metro, and my 4th tourist. I want 1 more. What is that? That's a cinema doogie. Cinema doogie, rockamafloogie, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together, and what do you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boom. I'm doing it. Going to the restaurant. Marking these dudes out. Scribbled. Scribbledy bobbity boo.
All right.
Next. Flipping it. Taking 12. No.
No. Michael. I was really not wanting 12.
I am going to
Really?
take a -1. This is me taking a -1, hitting Granny along the way, and Granny again.
I have to take a -2. Man, bad. So I get
Bibbity bobbity screwed.
2 of these.
Crit fail. Why is 12 bad, said Seth. So 12 is bad for me because it makes me do a 290-degree turn section. It's bad for Steph because she has 3 straights on her 12 section. She did not want 3 straights at that moment.
Oh, I could go this
I keep forgetting my
And
burgundy
get
sections.
Granny.
Getting Granny.
Yeah.
Getting Granny. I like to get Granny.
Yep.
All right. Is it you?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one. Did you start off as the inspector? Oh no, that's 5. That's 5 done already.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I have to start plotting things out because man,
Halfway through the game.
We're almost halfway through.
Number 4.
Ticket 4. That's a single for me.
Hmm.
Probably go wherever I
Just
want.
follow your route the whole way.
You can. Does that help you?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna at least go. I think I'm at least gonna go through that.
Well, I need to hit G, and that's G.
Because that gives me 1, 2,
That's actually my
3.
second thing. Oh, I know how I did it. Look at my watch right now.
That's what you did.
My watch right now is asking me, hey, where do I want to stream to? No, stop my watch. Don't want to do that.
All right, so I picked up this dude and this
What?
dude. And I made it to the metro station. Should I use an extra one? Sure, might as well, because I'm like on a roll. So I'll pick up this other dude. And
Oh, I don't think I'm marked
I get
when I
another
use this metro station.
connection. Fast, speedy connection. Look at me go.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, you're going to just connection me to death, I think.
Well, not really, because I need to like do something else.
I'm looking to get to M. We are indeed halfway through. How about a 2?
Michael.
Wow, you are just making all sorts of racket.
No, you're racket.
No, you racket. Time to head over towards your zone.
Warzone.
Oh, I'm leaving Granny's though.
Left and right.
I can't leave Granny's left and right.
I have to use another negative because that's how I do.
That's how you roll. That's how you're rolling right now.
Yeah. I dropped these guys off.
A dude in a metro. Tourist. Metro. All right, ready? I think it's you. Ticket 7. Ticket 7. All aboard.
Mm. Okay.
Boo.
Do this. That's
I'm going to
fine.
take a negative.
Collect my last metro sign. And 2 grannies.
I'm going to collect another metro, and I think I'm going to use a metro to collect a granny and A dark flirt. Dark flirt.
I got the granny bonus.
What?
I picked up 5 grannies.
No! I picked up 4 grannies.
And I'm not going to use my Metro.
Well, heck. All right.
Where's the last light blue?
What?
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
The last light blue is I have to get that one, which...
Yep.
Running out of time.
Yeah, I know the deal.
Oh, I just did that. I did 2 connections. 2 speedy routes.
Oh, yeah, I did 2 speedy routes too. I'm still going to lose. You done?
Yes.
I think it's me. 11. No! Worst time ever! That's 3 up that way if I wanted it. I've got a 2, and a 2 left. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Wow, it's looking rough for me. 1, 2. That'll turn. I'm not gonna get my grannies, I think. Yeah, there was my chance to get grannies, and I'm not doing it.
Shoot. I have to do that one.
That's another dart.
That stinks. It stinks.
Alternatively, I go up instead of down. Yeah. I hit a restaurant, which makes a single. And then I get a light.
And you get a sign.
And then I get a sign.
It's a sign.
Throw one an extra. I get a connection from your thing down there. Just in case I get straights that I can't deal with. I can actually deal with it at the moment. But I'm running out of rounds in which to get down here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I can't actually get to it. I think the only way for me to win is by conserving these dudes. But I have to do at least one. So I am doing one of them.
What is 11?
What is what?
My 11 was just a 1 road. Yours was a 1 by 3 road.
There are 3 more left.
Yep. Don't pull 8. Anything but 8.
I also do not want 8. So it's going to be an 8. No, it's a 9.
Thank goodness.
I got my grannies.
Not great.
Not great, Ralph. It's not great, Ralph.
Guess it's bad.
All right, next card.
Is me.
Oh, I'm going to get screwed up no matter what. Because I took the grannies, I'm going to have to basically crash at some point.
Now I need the 8. Not necessarily, you can come down and round it up. I mean, we don't have that many more road segments, so.
If I had gone a turn and then an extra, a straight and an extra, but then I'm using all the extras that I could just save for points.
And I thought you needed to hit a metro sign in order to use a metro sign.
What?
Like, only when you circle one are you allowed to use one.
Not what I am understanding.
Okay.
No, it just says at the end of each round you can cross off a single circled M. If you do, place an extra marker.
Well, yeah, would have played a little different. That's fine.
Well, I mean, it's the same as we played last time. 1. Double straight, which I'm going to definitely have to bend it.
Well, that's just too bad.
That is 2 connections. And a metro.
Dang
And there's only one more left, so if you want it, play it.
I wanted the 8 to come out, so I'm not happy about it.
I hope you hit the last one because I did.
No.
No.
Well, I guess I do.
No more connections. It's poor.
So then I do. Yikes. Granny, student don't matter. Drop this guy off for 2. Hit my last goal.
40. 46. 56, 57, 64, 61. I think I have 61. No double count again. 22, 32, 42, 48, 45, 61. Yep, 61 is what I got. Don't forget to give yourself half credit for your
For my nothing.
tourists, for your nothing. Oh, I didn't score myself for metros. I must have used an additional metro because I have 3 lines left. So I believe I have 3 metros that are unscored. For some reason, I'd only marked 2, but clearly I had done it a third time because I have 3 more lines in my hand.
You kicked my butt.
So I'm at 67, not 61. Because I didn't count. I didn't count those metro points. I thought I was going to lose it.
Death station for the lose. So Michael got 64? 67.
67.
7. Steph got 54.
What is 11? My 11? My 11 was a triple straight. Her 11 was a single line. Her 11 is one of these. Both of our maps are both of our player sheets are different, as you can see right here. They're both different for us. How many lines were you supposed to have left? 6 if you don't use any extras for metros. At least I assume so, because you start off with...
Yeah, you have exactly enough for your...
You should have exactly enough. 32 route markers. So if you've marked them all off, that's 6, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. You should have 6 left. So since I have 3 left, I must have used 3 additional.
Yeah.
Which means I've marked off 3 metro lines here.
Man, I'm so bad at the fact that you got 4 guys and then dropped them off is like...
I
really good.
I avoided hitting landmark specifically. Well, look, I'd had this little turn up here that went, because that was my first one. That's my second. That's my third.
Yeah.
I drove right past this one to hit that and then came back. So got me my 14.
Yeah.
Then I'm like heading down here and I'm like, oh, I want this. I can't do it. And so I had to come back up and around.
Yeah, I needed to just try and boost this more. But it's not a whole lot of points, so...
Yeah, I had to hit this M to get my last station. And look how close. I can't come that close. I would say that moving back to this metro station does count as encountering this a second time.
Well, yeah.
So I wouldn't have been able to hit Granny on this side and come in because...
No.
So I had to...
You could go up and end there.
Yeah, but
Or go.
Well, I had planned to do something like this. I couldn't... I still couldn't get to the Granny, so I had planned to go this way and back up that way. But I had the triple straight. I'm like, what do I do? Because I would have had to come around this way or around that way. And I'm like, I'm not collecting students.
I know.
You had 4 times no cinnamons. That killed you.
It was awful.
That killed you.
I kept missing it because the way it didn't work out. So.
Yeah, because I mean,
go this way, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get to L, and that's 5.
You got to sacrifice something. You've got to sacrifice something. That's right, Seth. You got to sacrifice something. Hey, everybody, fist bump.
Oh, man, always gotta ruin everything.
No, quit poking me.
So, did you like this one, Azul?
Yeah, it's good. Because I can do this.
Oh, now he messed up the whole thing.
Yep.
Really? We had made art, and now he ruined it.
Yep. Joe. I'm a little late.
I love the game. I love Let's Make a Bus Route. I love Get on Board. I think it's great.
Seth did not know which Azul this was.
This is Senor Azul.
Maybe it is.
So since it's new to you, you liked it. You liked it, okay?
It's good, yeah.
I think it's pretty good. So,
I mean, it's a Sashi game, so already.
I know. I mean, I'm a fan, and most people know that. So I'm glad that they're coming out with new maps and slightly new mechanics and different things.
Yeah, I wish that we could play on the other side.
Yeah, we can with James and Susan.
But not with me. Because, yeah, that makes it 3 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't do that.
No.
He'd have to play on this map with us.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's on Board Game Arena.
That's right. So if you enjoy games like this, you can play it. It's not in beta?
No, I don't think so.
Sounds good.
Just play it. Play it and like it like we do.
That's right.
So, super fun. Check it out.
So that's Get On Board, Metro, Paris, and Roma. That's right. So if you enjoyed this teach and playthrough and little puppets like this, then you can check out more of our videos at YouTube at BoardGamerSteph. Or you can join us on, where's Azul? Twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph.
Where you'll find Azul.
That's right.
Senor Azul.
Especially in between the board game streams. And we stream every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we stream through 3 games or more every single stream. So come join us on Twitch where we play all the games. That's right.
And for those on Twitch, we'll be right back.
Let's go.
With more Azul.
More Azul. Lots of more Azul.